Dear students, welcome to today's geography class. In today's class, we are going to study the nature of Karnataka, that is, the physiographic divisions of Karnataka. In this chapter, you are going to learn about the features of Karnataka, the nature of Karnataka, the physical divisions of Karnataka, that is, coastal area, Malanad region and Maidan region, and the hills and the highest peaks of Karnataka. Let us go to the topic. In this chapter, you are going to study the peninsula of India. The part of peninsula of India is Karnataka. This Karnataka has diverse physical features. It consists the vast plain area, coastal regions, and even the Malanad region. If we come to the Malanad region, in the western side it will be a steeping and the eastern side it will be a slopes. There are many ridges, there are rivers, there are valleys, and there are the gorges, there are mountains, and also there are plain land area. Let us go and discuss about all these things in this chapter. Dear students, if we come to the physical divisions of Karnataka, the physical divisions of Karnataka will divide into the three important physical divisions, that is, coastal plain, Malanad region, Maidan region. Let us go and discuss about the coastal plain in the first. The coastal plain lies between Arabian Sea and the Malanad region. This coastal line extends almost 320 kilometers from south of Mangalore to the north to the Karwar of Karnataka. And this coastal plain also, with varies from, in some of the place it is almost 12 kilometers means, it extends up to 64 kilometers width. And this coastal plain also called as Canara coastal plain, or we can call as the Karnataka coastal line. In these coastal areas, there are many rivers comes and connects with the sea or the ocean. The river which connects the sea or the ocean, the river which joins the sea or the ocean, we call estuaries. Estuary is nothing but if the river go and meets with the sea, the meeting place of the mouth we called as estuaries. But, however, there is no deltas in this region. Dear students, if we come about the coastal area of Karnataka, there are important ports. These ports are used even for fisheries. The major ports in Karnataka is the New Mangalore port. Other than the New Mangalore port, there are fishery ports in Karnataka. The fishery ports are Batkala Fort, Malpe Port, Karwar, Kumta, Belekere, Vannavara, and these are going to call fishery ports in Karnataka. Other than the ports, there are the beaches in Karnataka. The scenic beauty of the beach which attracts lots and lots of people. The important beaches are Panambur beach, Ullal beach, Someshwara beach which is near Mangalore, Malpe beach which is near Udupi, Karwar beach which is in the north of Karnataka, Murdeshwar beach which is in Vannavara, Maravante beach and Om beach which is in Gokarna. Dear students, not only it attracts the beaches, in the coastal area there are the beautiful islands are there. There are few islands I like to introduce to you in Karnataka. One, that is St. Mary's Island which is near Malpe beach. The St. Mary's Island beach also you called as, St. Mary's Island also you called as Coconut Island. Because in the St. Mary's Island there are so many coconut plants we can find. So the St. Mary's Island we called as Coconut Island. Other than the St. Mary's Island, there are Anjan near Karwar, Devghat and Kanjigudda Island, which are important in Karnataka. The people who are living in this coastal area, their main occupation of course may be agriculture. Other than the agriculture, even they used to go for fisheries. That is why fishing and agriculture are the main occupation of people who lives in this coastal area. And what else they are growing in agriculture? They are growing the crops like cashew nut, coconut, arconut, cardamom, and they also used to grow paddy. These were the important crops which is grown in the coastal area. The important districts in the coastal area are Dakshina Kannada district, and even I'm going to call Uttara Kannada district, along with that Udupi district. These are three districts are important districts in the coastal area. Dear students, first physical division of Karnataka we have discussed about coastal areas, as a coastal region. Next to the coastal region, the second physical division of Karnataka is, there is a Malana region. The Malana region also we can call as a Western Ghats. The Western Ghats in Karnataka also called as Malanad, or we can call it as Sahyadri mountain range. This Sahyadri or the Malanad or Western Ghats have step terrace slopes in the east. The slopes in the east, but there are stippy in the west. Stippy means there are narrow. The stippy in the west, and there are slopes in the east. Hence, they are called as Ghats. This Malana region or this Western Ghats, this Sahyadri mountain is almost 650 kilometers of length, and width is about 50 to 76 kilometers of width we have. The height of the Malanad or the height I'm going to call the Western Ghats is about 900 to 1500 meters of height we have. Since this mountain is very high, there are the breeze which blew from the Arabian Sea. The breeze which moved from the Arabian Sea, here we have the high mountain. That is why the high mountain which obstruct, which check. Which one it checks? It checks the rain bearing winds. So it forms a cloud and will get heavy rainfall in the western side of Western Ghats. That is why the windward direction gets heavy rainfall. It sometimes gets more than 200 centimeters of rainfall in the Malana region or in the western side of Western Ghats. If you come to this Malana region, there are peaks in this area. The peaks in Chikmagaluru district means we have Mullayanagiri, Kudremukh, Kalatagiri, Rudragiri, and also Devaramanagudda. These are called the peaks which is in Chikmagaluru district. The highest peak in Mullayanagiri, that is about 1913 meters of height. We have to travel from the eastern plains to the coastal plains of west. If you want to travel from the eastern plains I can call as a Maidan region. From the Maidan region, if you come to the west of coastal plain, you have to cross the Western Ghats. But if you want to cross the Western Ghats, you have to move through the important mountain passes. There are 4 important mountain passes are there in the Western Ghats. What are these 4 important Western Ghats passes? The first one I can tell you, my student, Charmadi Ghat. The Charmadi Ghat which connects Mangalore to Chikmagaluru. If you want to reach the Mangalore or Chikmagalur, you have to travel over Charmadi Ghat. The another important pass, if you want to travel from Hasan, Sakleshpura and Mangalore means you have to travel through Shiradi Ghat. If you want to travel from east to the west of area. You have to travel Shirdi Ghat. So if you travel through the Shirdi Ghat pass, you can reach Asana, Sakleshpura and Mangalore. If you want to travel from Shivamogga to Udupi, if you travel from where to where? Shivamogga to Udupi. If you travel from the Shivamogga to Udupi, you have to travel or you have to pass what they call Agumbe Ghat. Same way, Shivamogga to Kundapura. From the Shivamogga to the Kundapura, if you want to travel, you have to cross another important passes we call Ulikal Ghat. So that is why I told you these are 4 important passes we can see in the Western Ghats to travel from east to the west. In the Malnad region, I told you already, this Malnad region, of course, Malnad is nothing but Ghat section areas, which have the greenery, as we are going to call green forest, the green forest which attract the tourists. There are many rivers which takes birth in these Malnad regions. Since there are many rivers, these rivers falls going to call creates waterfalls, and creates valleys and gorges. The highest waterfall in Karnataka is Jog Falls. The Jog Fall is the highest waterfall in Karnataka and even you can say in India. The Jog Fall is in the river of Sharavati. Other than the Jog Falls, there are other important waterfalls are Uchali, Megat, Gokak waterfalls, Abbe waterfalls and even what they call Shivana Samudra waterfalls. But in this Malnad region, people were growing plantation crops. People were growing plantation crops. What are the plantation crops are growing in this Malnad region means maybe a coffee, tea, of course a rubber plantation and the spices they are growing. But if you come to the Chikmagaluru they called as land of coffee. Because of plenty of coffee we are growing in Chikmagaluru, so the Chikmagaluru we called as land of coffee. Where is going to call the Kodagu? The Kodagu we called as Kashmir of Karnataka and even the Kodagu we called as land of oranges. Why the Kodagu we called as Kashmir of Karnataka means because of the cold. Due to the cold weather in the Kodagu is called as Kashmir of Karnataka. Because of cold weather in Kodagu, we call Kashmir of Karnataka. Similar way, in Kodagu, we are growing the plenty of oranges. Since we are growing the plenty of oranges or abundantly we are growing the oranges in the Kodagu, it is also called as land of oranges. Land of oranges. This Malnad region also identified biodiversity zone because there are variety of various kind of animals and birds we can find. Not only the plants, not only relief features, even we can say biodiversity, animals and birds we can find. That is why these regions are supposed to be protected. This Malnad region which includes the districts like Asan, Kodagu, Shivamogga and even Chikmagaluru. The important districts of Malnad region means there is a Asan, Kodagu, Chikmagaluru and even Shivamogga. These are what they call the important regions or the districts of Malnad. Dear students, so far we have discussed the first one we called as coastal region of Karnataka. The second physical division we have discussed about Malnad region. Now the third region we are going to call Maidan region. Now, as I told you, the coastal area, next to the coastal area we have Malnad region. Next to the Malnad region, we have the eastern slopes of the Malnad region. Toward the slope of the Malnad, we have Maidan region. That is what we are going to say. To the east of the Malnad, we have the vast plain and is height about 450 meters to up to 760 meters of height. This flat region we call Maidan region, which is east of Malnad region. And in this Malnad region, there are the rivers which flows, namely river Krishna, river Tungabhadra and river the Kaveri. River Kaveri, Tungabhadra and Krishna which flows in the Maidan region. That is why in the Maidan region we used to do irrigation. To do agriculture, we are following irrigation. It is land sloping towards the east and rising height from the north to the south. From the north to the south, slowly we have height. The Maidan region, for our understanding, further we divide into two parts. One we call northern Maidan region, the another one we call southern Maidan region. Let us come one by one. Let us go to study first one, northern Maidan region. The northern Maidan region is around 365 meters to a height from the sea level up to 610 meters above the sea level. In the northern Maidan region, we have, of course, there are black soil. These plateaus have the black soil and there are hills and hillocks. Naragunda Hill, Parasagadda Hill, Gurmitkal Gudda and Ilkal Gudda are important hills we can see in the northern Maidan. But there are waterfalls. The important waterfalls we call Gokak waterfall. It is almost height which falls from 62 meters of height. The Gokak falls which created by called Ghataprabha river. Chaya Bhagavati and Sogala are important waterfalls other than the Gokak waterfalls in the northern Maidan. There are important districts in the northern Maidan region. If we come to the northern Maidan region, there are important districts are Bidar, Vijayapura, Kalaburgi, Yadagiri, Gadak, Koppala, Raichur, even Bellari, Haveri, Bagalkot and Dharwad. These are called important or the district which is in the northern Maidan region. But this northern Maidan region we called as land of sunshine. Why the northern region are going to call, why this place we called as land of sunshine means during summer. There is a hot summer. The sun rays falls vertically on this area. At the same time, this area we have too hot, so it is called as land of sunshine. Of course, during rainy season, they get good rainfall, but during the summer, it won't get a good rainfall. That is why in this region, we are growing jawar, bajra, groundnut, cotton, pulses. All these crops are dry crops. It did not require much of water. That is why these crops are called dry crops. Let us come to the southern Maidan region. Actually, if we come to the southern Maidan region, the southern Maidan region, of course, we called as rain shadow areas. This southern Maidan region which extends from north to the Tungabhadra river and south to the Chamaranagar. Between the land between Tungabhadra river to Chamaranagar north to the south, we called as southern Maidan region. But in the southern Maidan region, we have red soil. As we have discussed, in the northern Maidan region, black soil. But if we come to the southern Maidan region, we have red soil. But southern Maidan region is not a flat. It is uneven surface. There are ups and downs of the land. That is why in the southern Maidan region are uneven surface. But there are important hills are there in the southern Maidan region. The important hills are Chitradurga Hill, Narayanadurga, Savanadurga, Shivaganga in Bengaluru rural district. If you go to Tumkur, Madhugari Hill in the Tumkur is the biggest monolithic hill even in Asia. Which is the monolithic hill in Asia? The biggest monolithic hill in Asia means they are going to call Madhugari Hill in Tumkur. There are few more hill stations in Chikkaballapura, that is Nandi Hill, Chennakeshwar Hill, Kavaladurga, Skandagiri Hill. These are going to call the important hills are in Chikkaballapura district. There are few hills even in the Chamaranagar, Bilirangana Betta, that is what we are going to call Bilirangana Hill, Malai Madheshwara Hill, Gopalaswamy Hill. These are called important hills are in the Chamaranagar. If you come to the Mandya, Adi Chunchanagiri Hill is in the Mandya. If you go to Mysore, we can find Chamundi Hill. These are the important hills even find in the southern Maidan region. So far, we have discussed the Maidan region. For our understanding, we have divided the Maidan region as northern Maidan region and even we have divided as southern Maidan region. In the southern Maidan region, I told you, the southern Maidan region extended from Tungabhadra in the north up to the Chamaranagar in the east or in the south. And these Maidan region are not even, it is uneven. There are ups and downs of this region. Students, the southern Maidan is also called as rain shadow area of Western Ghats. What do you mean rain shadow area? As I told you, the windward direction, where the breeze moves, where it carries a moistureness, that one is called as windward direction. The windward direction, when the wind breezes, there is a high mountain. Since there is a high mountain, it obstructs the wind. The wind which is blue, it obstructs the wind. So, in the windward direction of Western Ghats, gets heavy rainfall. Whereas, the opposite side of going to call windward direction are going to call Western Ghats, they are going to call eastern side of Western Ghats, we call leeward direction or we call rain shadow area. There are important rivers we can find in the southern Maidan region. The important rivers in the southern Maidan region are Kaveri, Palar, Pennar. The crops which is growing in the southern Maidan region are ragi, paddy, sugarcane, groundnut, mulberry leaves, even vegetables are growing in these regions. Other than this, even we are growing variety of fruits and flowers. The district which comes under the southern Maidan region means Davanagere, Chitradurga, Tumkuru, Kolar, Mandya, Mysore and even the Chamaranagar. Dear students, so far we have discussed about the physiography of Karnataka. In the physiography of Karnataka we discussed there are physical divisions of Karnataka. The physical division we are divided into three. One I told you coastal areas, another one I told you Malnad region, and the third one I told you going to call Maidan region. In the coastal area I told you which is from south of Mangalore, which extend up to the north of Karwar. In the coastal area we have discussed not only the coastal area, there are beaches and even island. The island which is located near Malpe. Which island is near Malpe? Good. St. Mary's Island. Next to the St. Mary's Island, or we have discussed about the islands, even we have discussed about Malnad region. The Malnad region also we called as another name Sahyadri. Sahyadri name is given to dash Ghats in Karnataka. The Sahyadri name is given to Malnad Ghats in Karnataka or Western Ghats in Karnataka. The another question we can see, as we discussed in the Malnad region or Western Ghats, there the Agumbe Ghat which connects Shivamogga to Udupi. Then we discussed, my student, in the Malnad region, there is a place we call Kashmir of Karnataka, and the district also we can call as land of oranges. Which district we called as Kashmir of Karnataka? Good. Kodagu we called as Kashmir of Karnataka. The Kodagu also we can call as land of oranges. Why we called as Kashmir of Karnataka? Because due to the cold weather in Kodagu, we called as Kashmir of Karnataka. Then why we called as land of oranges? Because abundantly, the plenty of oranges we are growing in Kodagu, so it is called as land of oranges. Now let us come to the fifth question. Name the important physical divisions of Karnataka. I mentioned the important physical divisions of Karnataka as we discussed three. The first one, coastal region. The second one I told you, Malnad region. And the third one I told you is a Maidan region. For our understanding, Maidan region further we divided into two. Name the two Maidan regions. One, northern Maidan region. Another one we have discussed, southern Maidan region. The highest peak in Mullayanagiri, that is about 1,913 meters of height. We have to travel from the eastern plains to the coastal plains of west. If you want to travel from the eastern plains I can call as a Maidan region. From the Maidan region, if you come to the west of coastal plain, you have to cross the Western Ghats. But if you want to cross the Western Ghats, you have to move through the important mountain passes. There are 4 important mountain passes are there in the Western Ghats. What are these 4 important Western Ghats passes? The first one I can tell you, my student, Charmady Ghat. The Charmady Ghat which connects Mangalore to Chikmagaluru. If you want to reach the Mangalore or Chikmagalur, you have to travel over Charmady Ghat. The another important pass, if you want to travel from Hasan, Sakleshpura and Mangalore, means you have to travel through Shiradi Ghat. If you want to travel from east to the west of area, you have to travel Shiradi Ghat. So if you travel through the Shiradi Ghat pass, you can reach Hasana, Sakleshpura and Mangalore. If you want to travel from Shivamogga to Udupi, if you travel from where to where? Shivamogga to Udupi. If you travel from the Shivamogga to Udupi, you have to travel or you have to pass what we call Agumbe Ghat. Same way, Shivamogga to Kundapura. From the Shivamogga to the Kundapura, if you want to travel, you have to cross another important passes we call Ulikal Ghat. Dear students, there are few more questions I will give you. You learn these question answers for the next class. Let us discuss. That is, write a note about the Malnad region. Write a note of relief features of Malnad region and try to learn about coastal plains of Karnataka. Name the important passes of Western Ghats. These question answers you learn and come. Let us meet in another class. Dear students, I was taking the class Physiography of Karnataka. I am Mr. Jerome. I am working as an assistant master at St. Joseph's High School, that is in Bangalore. We will meet you in another class. Thank you. Have a nice day.